but may I request you to please join us to the podium for your address. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please? Yes, thank you.
Very good morning. I am humbled and pleased to be here. And the energy that we need to create the future of the world, to create the future of the society is all right here. So maybe once again, very good morning. I don't see the energy, maybe it is coming later. So, or maybe I'm keeping you away from tea or coffee. So I'll try once again. Very good morning. Good morning. 300 billion to 500 billion. The journey of the manufacturing sector is not going to happen without the tooling industry. We say Dravya, Kshetra, Kal, Bhav, the four elements need to come together for anything in this world to happen. And if I look at the environment today for this country, first, robust demand domestically. Second, the right policy framework and the will with the PLI, Make in India. And third, young population in the country. Fantastic level of competencies and capabilities. Today, we have been developing in this country largely on import substitution and localization. And I would challenge this group here to look beyond. There will be definitely a huge amount of potential that I just heard also from you in the last discussion that, okay, import substitution, localization, and manufacturing sector depending on local tooling and local capabilities is going to be important to drive this sector. And I think I already see a great power in this sector with import substitution and localization. The next wave is only going to happen if you are going to recognize two things. One, the local demand, the local resource, local R&D. This is a sector that has been sleeping for decades. We have not recognized the local demand, the local resource in our R&D, and local capabilities. We have been chasing the Western models, the Western mindset, the Western technology, and most of our attempts so far have been, can I make this cheaper? Can I make this faster? Can I make it local? Can I save on duties, taxes, etc.? Now, thankfully, in the last 5 to 7 years, the sector that has opened up is defense. That is one positive sign. The second sector that is opened up is R&D. For the first time, I am hopeful that we are going to see a different trajectory for the country, driven by R&D, largely whenever the defense opens up, the defense R&D opens up. That is when the local innovation starts, and that local innovation creates world-class technologies and opportunities. So while we focus on import substitution, localization on one side, the other side is two elements, as I said, local resource, and the second element is innovation and R&D. If we do that, we will put this country at the best. We have local resources, for example, coal, right? The world is moving away from coal, was moving away from coal till they got a wake-up call from Ukraine. Similarly, we have bioresidue, agri-waste in the country. This country has large cultural diversity and therefore its own culture demands. If we look at raising capital for this sector, now if I go and say, look, I want to do some innovation in tooling industry, I know how much pain it is to raise funds from the banks and financial institutions. But when you look at the startup ecosystem today, there is billions of dollars of capital flowing into the startup ecosystem in the country. And how can this manufacturing sector, the traditional sector of tooling, become as attractive as startup ecosystem? I think it is the power of integrating industrialization, automation, digitalization together. And if we combine that with local resource and innovation, that is what I think will happen for us. So what do I mean with that? Can we integrate 3D printing upfront in what we do? Oh, that's not competitive today. But then if you want to build the future, we don't want to start with cost as the factor. We want to say, can I build the future with this integrated into my R&D design? So I would encourage you, whatever you do today, please keep two pillars in your future strategy for growth. One, import substitution that brings in the cash flow for the current operations. But two, focus on the local resource with R&D and innovation to catapult this country not only to 500 billion, but also maybe $1 trillion in terms of manufacturing sector. So I wish you all the best. I'm happy to collaborate, support as many efforts as we see in terms of local indigenous R&D, integrating local resource, local talent pool, and innovation. So wishing you all the best. I wish I could spend more time engaged with you a lot more. but it was a long pull from Nishant and Ankit who requested my presence, and I felt it would be my honor to be with you here today and to share my short perspective. Thank you and wish you all the best.